Okay, we are live, Floor. So, welcome to the stream. You are currently in a little village in France somewhere, which looks
Yes.
absolutely delightful. I hope the internet will last during this session, but so far in our little chat, it has been great. So, I read that you studied industrial ecology first, and like many other speakers on this stage, you aim to contribute to a more sustainable world, right? You have also been involved in Sail for the Future since the very beginning. And something that you believe in, as far as what I've read from you, is that everyone can and should contribute to a more sustainable future. So you even mentioned that your confidence in the concept of what you're working on is unshakable. So I was really wondering, what exactly is Sail for the Future and what are your goals with this project?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I am indeed in France, so I really hope everything works well. But it's really nice to even from here be able to share about our concept. So I will talk to you about Sail for the Future. Thank you already for the introduction, and I will discuss a little bit more about myself. So indeed study industrial ecology, and from this I indeed have the desire to make a contribution to making the world a more sustainable place. And I will talk you through several things in the next, I think, about 20 minutes. So I'll talk about what we do with Sail for the Future, why we do it, how we started, how we work, and also where we are now. And then I think I'll end with why I love it, so what I like so much about it, which I think is the most fun part to talk about. And it also gives some information about what it is that we exactly do and why it is important that we do it. So to dive right into it, this is our mission statement. So in our unique innovation program, we will utilize the power of teamwork and mindset to accelerate companies towards a sustainable future. We will bring change starting today rather than tomorrow. So already here you can see that my ambition as a true millennial to change the world is already embedded in our mission statement to bring change starting today. And also what you read is that we accelerate the transition to a sustainable future. For me, the necessity of this is really evident. And how we approach this is by using the power of companies. So we see companies as really well-trained muscles to do certain things, and also they have quite some power by doing that. So they have a large influence. And we try to help them to change because we feel that some businesses and some companies really want to innovate and they want to change and they want to become more sustainable, but they don't know exactly how to. People in general tend to not really like change. And with these companies, it's no difference. And on the other hand, we experience that there are a lot of really motivated students and young professionals like me with skills and that really want to use them to improve the world. And we combine them. And by doing this, we hack the climate crisis, as it were, using the influence that companies have. So we try to sort of change the system from within, in a way. So we're not only sort of having a criticism on the system, but we try to help the system to change, to make the necessary changes. So how and where and why are we called Sail for the Future? So we link our innovation program to the UN Climate Change Conference, the COP26, and it will take place in Scotland. The COP is a really large climate change conference where all the world leaders come together to discuss policy regarding climate change. And these processes can be notoriously slow. And we want to really bring change today, like I said. So we will organize our event next to the COP, in addition to the COP, to also make a statement about the need for quick action. And also we are part of a bigger event. So that's why we link ourselves to the COP. And we sail there, first of all, because it's a way of sustainable transport. You can do this almost emission-free. And it will be around 3 days on sea, depending on the weather, of course. So it'll be 3 consecutive days on sea. So we'll put the teams that are working, so that the companies will bring in a case that they want to see a change in, and then we'll bring people together that are going to work on this case. So that will be people like me or external thinkers, we call them, so the young professionals or the students. We'll bring them together with the companies, and then we'll work 5 days in the innovation program on a challenge. And these people were put already together on a boat, 3 days on sea, which might not be fun. We've spoken with quite some skippers of tall ships, and some of them say it will be not fun at all. Like fun in a sense that it might be harsh. But this will already create, will require commitment, and the same type of commitment you will need to stick to your path, to your ambitions to make the world more sustainable, because you will need, things will need to change, and it's always easier to stay with what we have now. So we try to already feed this sense of commitment and leadership with the people that join us. And also we really influence or help the teamwork, because we'll put you on a boat, and as soon as you're in Scotland, you would just start working for 5 days on improving and working on the case. So in this way, we can really form teams of the people that join us. So this is how and where and why we're called Sail for the Future. We do have a small note with the COVID-19 crisis that the COP has been changed to dates. It was supposed to be November 2020, and it's moved to November 2021. But since we want change today and not in November 2021, we will probably sail to Scotland, where the COP will take place in November, in the spring already, do our innovation program there, and then at the COP we can sort of give feedback about what we've achieved. So we feel that this is a really nice combination, as also again emphasizes the need for change and the need for action. So how we started. So how we started. So at a Friday afternoon drinks at Suitcase, where dreams are born in general, Friday afternoons. So Suitcase is a small company that helps businesses to innovate, but also develops new concepts. So one of the concepts they come up with is to sail to the COP in Scotland, because it's so close by. It would be amazing if we just could ship everyone on a sustainable way to Scotland, because you cannot fly to a climate change conference. That is, if you have another option, flying is not an option. So that's how the idea started. And then already the people from Suitcase decided that this concept is bigger than just them, and also there are a lot more people that are willing to work on this. So it became a sort of separate entity. And then other people ask with it. So for example, me, you see in the pictures, you see us at one of the first meetings. I think this is the second meeting that we had in this January at the Hague Central Station, where we came together and wrote down the ambitions that we had and what we want to achieve with Sail for the Future. And gradually the concept developed and it changed, and we decided that we can do more than just the crossing, because we have this group of people that are so eager to make a change and they're so enthusiastic, and so we can do more. So that's why we developed the idea of making the innovation program, and also try to bundle all kinds of powers, as it were, of people. So the people that want to make a change, and also the company that have influence. So that's how the idea developed. Right now, you could say we're a movement, and everybody that joins us is brought together by a passion for sustainability. People have joined that I've never seen before. People have come and go, and so we really are a separate organization now, which I think is very amazing, that you can build something out of nothing. Let me go to the next slide. Yeah, so how we work, I think this is an interesting part. So, where we are now. Oh, wait, I think I've skipped. Oh. Yeah, how do we work? Sorry. So we're setting up a foundation as we speak to make our organization official. But what we've done before is also setting up the entire organization. So we went from this idea of our ambition, and then people joined this, so we had to sort of think about how we want to organize everything. That is something that I had never done before, and it's a really fun process to go through. And what we've came up with now is that we have weekly meetings with everyone in our team, and we also have separate teams working on separate things. So for example, we have people working on the website, but we have also people working on the innovation program. We have people calling the working on the sailing part. So, for example, they calling skippers of tall ships to see what they think of our crazy idea. We got mixed responses, but we just go along with the enthusiastic ones. So yeah, we have several teams. And people join us now and then, friends of friends, or maybe people that found us through a website. So we are gradually growing. And I think what is noteworthy is that in general, how we work is that we discuss with people and we ask advice. So we're now still in a semi-beginning stage of our concept. So we find it important to make sure that what we want actually will have an impact. So it will actually be picked up, and people. This is what people need, and this is also what the world needs. So to ensure this, we speak with similar concepts. So, for example, Sail to the Cup, as you might know, has done something similar but different. So we're in close contact with them. One of them actually joined us as well as a next step. But also, for example, Nudge has the Global Impact Challenge, where they do amazing things. We talk with the Nationale Denktank. So we really want to make sure that we fit in the field of what's already out there, and we don't compete with them in any way, because we really want to make an impact. And then also we're talking with experts. So what is their view, and where do they think that change is needed? And this is also the way that we talk with companies. So we try to approach them and ask them what they think of our ambition, because we have this plan, but we haven't really done this before. So I see a question. I'll answer that later in a bit. So we talk with them and we ask them what it is that they need to change. Like what is limiting them now, and what are the things that they are looking for. And then we try to see if Sail for the Future can sort of tap into one of these concepts and develop this further. And up until now, this approach has really worked very well for us. Let me go back to the comments to see if the technology works. Suitcase, nice. What's your views on Greta Thunberg sailing to the COP before? Yeah, I think that was a really strong statement. Because it's also inspiring, I think, for many people. So that it's actually possible, and that making a statement can also inspire a lot of people. So this has also inspired us. So to show that by doing something bold, you can make an extra impact. So we can really make a statement together. So yeah, and our concept is slightly different, but of course it's I can see the link. So to continue with the presentation, so where are we now? So we've developed this since December, January. We are talking with companies. We're trying to form a sort of board of advice of people that we can pitch our ideas with quickly and to see what they think of it. We're talking with the first toll ship that maybe wants to make the crossing with us. But this would just start small. So we just get a ship, get a few companies, and just start from that. And we have quite some partners that help us. Plant a Flag is a marketing PR bureau that helped us with our marketing strategy and also the design. I'm afraid my presentation is not fully into the house style, but we really value their input. I mentioned Suitcase before. They also help us a lot. Team Bolster are also talking with companies to get them the change on a more strategic level and to really make the change. So they also help us to approach companies. Nick from Breda, who is organizing this event, also organized with us, as you can see in the screenshot, a meeting, an afternoon where we also asked some experts from outside Sail for the Future to think along with us, and we did a sort of innovation sprint, our own innovation program, but then only of one afternoon, which had a great impact already. The Waterspotverbond is a great enthusiastic of us, because it's great enthusiast. So they think along with us, and they're a great partner to have aboard. And like I said, we have several academics that we can also pitch our ideas to. So this is basically what we do and where we are now. And just let me know if you have any questions about that part. And if not, I think I'll continue with the part about why I love it and what I've learned from it, and what maybe you could also learn or take from this concept. Okay, great. So I'm happy everything's clear. So why I love it. Like I said before, I'm really enthusiastic about the concept, and I really have a strong belief in it. And this was also grown by certain things. So one of the first things why I love it is the realization that if you have a good idea, people might actually join you. So this is just something that we came up with. We thought this would be amazing if we did this. So it was like a fantasy almost, like what if we could do this? Yeah, it turns out that if you communicate this well, you set up a structure, then people will join you and will put their time in it. And yeah, I find this such an amazing realization that this is how the world can work. And it's such an empowering feeling as well, that you're not alone. And I've worked really closely together now with people that due to Corona I've never even seen before. So yeah, I think this is an amazing insight, and a great thing about So for the Future. And also what we found is that if you ask people for help, so example, you could just email a global head of sustainability by just retrieving the email structure of a certain company and just ask them if they want to think along with you, because we we want to make an impact, and we need help, of course. I mean, we cannot do this alone. So by doing this, we found that people are really eager to help. Also, friends that I know that can do certain things, they really like to use their skills and to to join your mission. So if you find the right connection with people, then they're so eager to help. And I think this, I already have a lot of faith in people, but this really, yeah, this really made this even greater. And I think it's a really good lesson I learned from doing this. And another thing is that even if you don't know what you can do, there's always something you can help us with. So I started this because I started with So for the Future, and I started with doing more like the HR kind of thing. We call it HR. It's more like talking to the people that are already in So for the Future and see how they're doing. And I found out that I like talking to people, but I'm not structured in that sense. Like it was not the right task for me in a way. So I just developed my contribution to So for the Future, and now I'm talking mostly with companies, holding these kind of talks. So it's also a way to find out what you like and what you can do best. And like I said before, I really believe that everybody can do something, and I believe that everybody should use their skills in a way, and preferably to make the world more sustainable, because this is really the greatest challenge that we have together. And even if you want to contribute to a cause, but So for the Future is not your way, that is also fine. Like you could join So for the Future and determine that maybe you want to approach it in a different way. You want to join another organization, and you feel that this is not exactly how you want to make the world a better place. You could always do something else. But if we are able to inspire you a little bit, for people to sharpen a bit more what they want to do and to find their place and where they can make an impact, then I think that is already a great achievement. Yeah, why I love it, 5 out of 6. We're almost there. There are an infinite more, but I just try to limit myself. So I started my talk with my ambition to make an impact that it sort of exceeds my own individual footprint, so my own consumption behavior, and I already tried to minimize my impact in many ways. But there's always this desire to do more, and I think by joining So for the Future, I can do more, and I'm able to do more. Yeah, I love that. And lastly, and I think this is the most important thing, that if you care about a cause, in my case, I think it's clear, but what that is, but for you it might be something slightly different or entirely different, then you can use your skills to make a contribution. And we just we just started this from nothing. I mean, half a year ago, this didn't even exist. There were no people really. We just were a small group of people, and you can see where we're now. I think it's very amazing how quickly you can do something if you're willing to put your skills into use and make a contribution to whatever you think is valuable. And I really want to urge everyone to do this, actually, to find what you want to do and actually do it. Just ask people for help if you don't know what to do, and you can. Yeah, I think the world is really much more open than even I thought it would be. Like everybody's so eager to help, and it's so inspiring to speak with people that have a similar ambition as you have and a similar mission. So yeah, I think for me that is the greatest lesson also for the future. I am really proud of where we stand now, and I'm really eager for the future. I think our innovation program will be a really, really amazing event. So yeah, I'm very excited. If you want more information, you can always look on our website, silverthefuture.com. I think we'll post it later. There it is. That's great. If you want to join us in any way, let us know. If you want to keep updated, let us know. Yeah, I think that is my talk.
Yeah.
I see you're back already. Thanks.
Well, it's more than enough. You've told us some very fascinating things, and also something I did not expect, but maybe even a little bit of life advice, right? Of following your dreams, and I think that's a really empowering thought, especially for the younger generation, because a lot of things are often possible, and I have noticed the same thing with people I thought would never be willing to talk to me, and you add them on LinkedIn or you send them an email, and they get back to you, and they're actually, when you have a good idea, people are very often willing to help. So that's definitely something that I also subscribe to.
Yeah, people even like it. Yeah, that's more. Yeah.
Yeah, people like to be able to give, and people in for example, at universities at very high levels are basically very often only there to really help other people out and help to teach. And that's the same within companies, I think. So one question I had is, you'll be sailing with these people, which is amazing, by the way, for 3 days consecutively to Scotland. And then you said that you would work on a case, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of cases will you be working on? Can you maybe give me an example of something like this?
Yeah, good question. So it kind of depends on the company, the type of company that would join us, and the problems that they might experience. So, for example, you might have really high ambitions regarding sustainability and already made your products as sustainable as possible. But then if you give it to the consumer, they can do whatever they want with it. So maybe 90% of your impact will be at the consumer space. How do you deal with this as a company? That would be a type of question. But also more strategic, maybe like how do we get people to change within our company, or maybe it's really at the core of your business model. So it can be a lot of different questions. Yeah.
It depends on the company, I guess.
It does, yeah.
But the general focus is always on sustainability and I guess reducing your footprint on the world, right?
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
yeah,
well,
we need to do that anyway, so better sooner or later. Yeah,
that's true. And especially companies can usually make an easier, bigger impact than individuals. So I think it's a great way to collaborate together and bring those people together. I hope that anyone that's watching or people that might be watching this later will look up the website. I assume there's also some contact information if people want to contact you, because they are feeling inspired to help out as individuals or as companies. And
of course.
Yeah, thanks a lot for this talk. Enjoy your time in France.
Thank you. I will.
You had a very good
I'll go for a hike later.
That sounds great. Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll keep in touch.
Thanks. You too. Enjoy the event.
Yep, bye.
Bye.